Okay. Good morning, everyone. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Swan Lee. I'm a co-founder of the Asian American Coalition for Education. This organization was prepared in late 2014, and we were formally formed in 2015. We have submitted administrative complaints to the U.S. government, Department of Justice and Education, and the Department of Justice is investigating into the complaints right now against Harvard and also against Yale. We also filed amicus brief to the Fisher II case, and at that time there were about 130 Asian American organizations that co-signed this amicus brief. And I believe for the first time, a Supreme Court Justice Alito, wrote the Asian American Coalition of Education's perspective in the dissenting opinion. So it's formally in the legal history now. And we hope that's the first step, paying a foundation to sooner or later remove the racial factor, which is an immutable factor about human beings from the college admission consideration. Last year, we also filed amicus brief to the Harvard case, SFFA versus Harvard case, and this time the support for this pursuit has grown really rapidly in just a couple of years. Last year there were more than 270 organizations that co-signed, and many individual supporters as well. So today we're holding this first national conference on equal education rights. On behalf of AACE, I welcome everyone. Thank you very much. It's our honor and pleasure to get all of you here. We have a lot of distinguished speakers, long-time experienced education rights activists and civil rights activists, and a lot of distinguished scholars. And we also have, let me briefly introduce the program. We're going to have opening remarks by the president of ACE, Mr. Yukong Zhao, followed by a section on anti-Asian discrimination in college admissions, which will be conducted by Mr. Li Cheng, Mr. Edward Bloom, and Professor Richard Sander, followed by a keynote speech from Ms. Holly Han, who is Executive Director of the White House Initiative on AAPIs. Then we'll have a section on the concept of diversity and better approaches to enhance racial diversity. We will have our speaker, Mr. Ward Connerly, Mr. Mike Gonzalez, Mr. Neil McCluskey, and Ms. Manga Anandmula. That's our morning section. In the afternoon, my colleague, Ms. Manga Anandmula, will host this conference. She is a key member in the American Hindu Coalition, which represents more than 5 million American Hindus in the pursuit for equal education rights. So let's get to business. First, let's start with the opening remarks of Mr. Yukong Zhao. Let me briefly introduce him. Mr. Yukong Zhao is the president of AACE. With his leadership, AACE has harnessed overwhelming support from Asian American communities and made significant contributions